Catherine from Knit the Stars, and welcome to another video in my Knitting Unravelled series. Today, we'll be learning some basic increase stitches. Like decrease stitches, any project that requires shaping is going to require increase stitches, and many textured patterns will use these stitches as well. All of these are single stitch increases, meaning that they will take one stitch and increase it to 2 stitches. First, let's cover the yarn over, which is a left-leaning increase. The yarn over leaves a small hole in your knitting, so it's often used for lace work or to make buttonholes. In the middle of a right side row, bring the yarn around your right needle from left to right. You'll be wrapping in the same direction as you would to knit a normal stitch, but without actually working into a stitch. Now, knit the next stitch normally. You can see that an extra loop has been created on your right needle between the 2 stitches, an increase of 1 stitch. You can also yarn over between 2 purl stitches by bringing the yarn around your right needle from right to left. Just like with the knit yarn over, you want to bring the yarn around in the same direction you would normally wrap it if you were purling a regular stitch. Now, with the yarn back at the front of your work, continue purling. You'll see that the purl yarn over leaves the same extra loop and hole in your work. Next, we're going to learn how to make one right, which slants to the right. If you look between a stitch that you've just knit and the next stitch on your left needle, you can see that there's a bar between the 2 stitches. That's what you're going to use to make this increase. So, to make one right, you'll start by picking up the bar by sliding your left needle under it from back to front. Once you've picked up that new loop on your left needle, just knit it as you normally would any other stitch to finish off your increase. If you're having trouble picking up the bar from back to front, you can also break the Make One Right increase up into 2 easier steps. Pick up the bar between the 2 stitches with your right needle from front to back, then slide that stitch onto your left needle as if to purl. You can now knit it as you usually would any other stitch. This process gives you the same increase as picking up the bar with your left needle. We're going to learn how to make one left. This is the mirror image increase to the Make One Right, and it slants to the left. To make this stitch, you want to slide your left needle under the bar between the stitches from front to back. Then, you're going to knit into this new stitch on your left needle, but instead of knitting it normally as you did for the Make One Right, you're going to knit through the back loop. Like with the Make One Right increase, you can work the Make One Left in 2 steps if that is easier for you. Insert your right needle under the bar from front to back. Next, slide it onto your left needle, this time as if to knit, and knit into the back loop of the new stitch. This will also give you the Make One Left increase. Finally, we're going to learn the knit front and back stitch, which slants to the left. Begin by knitting a stitch normally, but without sliding the old stitch off of your left needle like you normally would. Instead, you're going to insert your right needle through the back loop of that same stitch on your left needle and knit that stitch through the back loop. Now, slide the original stitch off of your left needle. You've now created 2 stitches from one by knitting both the front and back loop of the same stitch. You can see the second stitch you created with the back loop almost looks like a purl bump. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you'll follow along with the rest of my Knitting Unravelled series.